Good morning and welcome to my weekly ramble. I have to confess that recording this today, it's a day early, Thursday rather than Friday, because I'm not able to do so tomorrow. But nonetheless, it's great to be with you. I hope you've had a good week, despite all the challenges of the virus and all the different restrictions that we're all going through. It's been a really good week for us at St Mary's. Another second choral evensong last week when we sang some Brewer and some Tallis. Went really well, and it's great to see so many people there singing together. And although it's frustrating that we have to be so spaced out, it's actually quite good. It's good for everyone to sort of be able to listen to each other and get a bit of self-confidence without relying on people next to you or in the same voice part. So we'll keep going as long as we're able to. Hopefully that will continue without any more breaks, but who knows. I don't know whether any of you caught Choral Evensong on the BBC this week. It was a real cracker. It came from Canterbury Cathedral, where you might know the organ has been completely rebuilt and there's a almost brand new organ in the cathedral, and this must be probably the first broadcast. But they did a humdinger of a service with representation of some of England's finest composers, Stanford and Parry. So Stanford in A, Mag and Nunc, which if you don't know is worth listening to. Slightly tricky organ part, but wonderful piece to sing. And Parry's wonderful setting of Psalm 122, I Was Glad. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic in that building. And then on the organ at the end, the first movement of Elgar's organ sonata, first organ sonata. So really English and patriotic. So if you didn't hear that, I do recommend that you listen to it. We have our own small online service this coming Sunday, as ever. And we meet at St Mary's live at 10:30 on Sunday morning. So, to my suggestion of music this week. Now, it might have escaped your notice, or if you're musically very astute, you will have noticed that very recently the 75th birthday of John Rutter was celebrated. 75 years old, John Rutter. And what do you think of when you think of John Rutter? Well, you think of Christmas immediately, don't you? You think of lovely tunes and maybe, if one is being slightly unkind, slightly saccharine music. But to me, John Rutter is absolutely wonderful composer. I mean, his sense of melody is amazing. His arrangements are brilliant. And actually, for me, I think one of his greatest strengths, and something I've always been interested in, is his orchestration. If you listen to even just his carols with an orchestra opposed to just with an organ accompaniment, you'll notice all the wonderful colours that he gets out of the orchestra. Particularly, he loves the use of the harp, he loves the oboe, he loves the flute. Just had a great sense of orchestral colour. So I think that's one of his great geniuses. But he has many. He's written so many lovely pieces. But as I say, I guess he's best known for his cheesy music. But for today's suggestion, I want to point you to a piece that I discovered a number of years ago, which I find absolutely wonderful. It's the sort of piece I think you need to listen to a few times to really get into it. And if you heard it for the first time, you probably wouldn't know that it was John Rutter. It's a piece called Hymn to the Creator of Light, and it's written for 2 unaccompanied 4-part choirs, so 8 parts in all. And it was written back in 1992, and it was written for a special occasion. It was written for the dedication of the Herbert Howells Memorial Window in Gloucester Cathedral, and was first performed by the 3 cathedral choirs of Hereford, Gloucester and Worcester. And it is an extraordinary piece. As I say, you just wouldn't guess that it was by John Rutter to start off with. It starts off very quietly and rather slowly with a sort of quasi, plain-songy feel to it from the second choir and answered from on high by the first choir. And I suppose it's a sort of nod, it's a sort of homage towards Howells' harmony. And that continues for a while, and then there's the middle section which is much faster and quicker and sort of more vivacious and rhythmic. And then the piece finishes, it was brilliant ending to it that he, Rutter weaves in the lovely chorale, the Schmuckadik chorale, which you would recognise. And that comes in, and then he's able to put the original motifs from the opening section over the top as well. So it works really well. And the last page is just so evocative and so emotional and just sensational, really. So I do urge you to listen to that and probably listen to it a couple of times because, as I say, it's not immediate as such, but it's a very beautiful piece when you get to know it. So I hope, amongst all the Christmas things which are going to come up of John Rutter, that you remember this piece, which is just a little bit different. So I'm now going to disappear downstairs as ever, and we'll do a few warm-ups. So here I am downstairs and ready to sing if you are too. So as always, just remembering that to sit up nice and straight or to stand nice and relaxed, don't lock your knees, ready to warm up. Okay, so first of all today, let's just hum and we'll go. Really gentle, okay? 2, 3, 4. You can just expand that slightly. So now let's try next step up to tongue behind the top teeth, lips slightly apart, so we just get that slightly nasal, feel that buzzing in your nose of a bit louder. I just want you to drop your jaw and change from to ah, and that ah, that sense with your soft palate raised, that sense of seeing somebody you haven't seen for a long time, you go, so you just feel the soft palate raising. So we're going to go na, 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 like that, okay? 2, 3, 4. Na, 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 na. Nice bright R. Na, 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 Good. And now do you remember this one we did a couple of weeks ago to ya, going ya, 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 and we'll slide up. That's slightly different. Ya, 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 ya. Try that one, all right? Ya, 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 ya. 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 Good. And finally, let's just do a few triads to R, just going ah, go. I hope you did that one better than me. Anyway, I hope that helped. Hope that gets you a little bit warmed up. If you can do those exercises regularly, so much the better. It all helps. Anyway, I hope you have a good week. I will see some of you over the weekend. Some of you I might not see for a while, but hopefully it won't be too long before we're all together. But until then, stay safe.